Here are some of the examples of my pet portraits from the summer of 2025. I created these with acrylic paints on small canvas boards, 6x6, sometimes 5x7s, and it was like a painting challenge for me to see how many dog lovers I could serve in the month of June. It was really a lot of fun because I did a fundraiser for the dog, the Great Lakes Boxer Rescue, and they greatly enjoyed that, the dogs that were adopted. I did a few for Instagrammers, and it was just a delightful time of creating, being fun, joyful, small pieces of art. I am starting to do some larger pieces, and so I wanted to give you a shot of just these small paintings that I did this summer, and even a digital piece of artwork here that I created myself. And so I wanted to show you these before the video that shows you more of my painting process. This one is very fun. It's an 11x14, which is the size that I like to work on when I do a pet portrait. But I created this quickly, loosely, and it was at first just something I was playing with to see what would happen. So sometimes I do that when I'm painting for someone. I decide, I'm just going to do this quick gesture painting, see what becomes of it, and if it's something I like, I kind of stick with it. So this one was a fun experiment. And as you can see, I did just a fun wash. I did like a drawing first. So the wash was kind of a purpley fuchsia color. That one is a little bit more on spot here. I did the darks next, and then I did a little bit lighter tones. So each one of these paintings shows some steps in the progression of this pet portrait. This is the background. So the yellow that I had first started with sort of gives a yellow undertone, like a glow for the whole painting. And as I worked on it, I chose some other colors that would kind of tone down that yellow background. But it does make for a fun, lively painting when I start with an undercoat, an underpainting. As I do this, I just notice the brush strokes are back and forth, different directions. That adds variety to the brush strokes. It makes it more lively, more fun, playful. And so as I worked on that, I was thinking through how I wanted to approach this dog, which is mostly white. You might not think it is based on that, but see how that came along after I added some colors. So definitely white is not always just pure white. This one had some yellows and the tones like this where the light was hitting it. And in the shadow regions, it was more of a bluish color. Sometimes there can be a purple tones. It just depends on the reflections. So as I'm painting along through here, I'm being loose, I'm being playful. I'm using a very big brush to do most of this. And as I was thinking through layering it, sometimes I almost think about it without even really knowing what I'm considering. So the colors just sort of come along as I continue to blend and work on painting the way I want it to look and feel at the end. Sometimes you don't always know how a painting is going to come out, but you have a vision of where you want to take it. And so this one definitely gave me a lot of free expression. I love the expressive ears. The eyes were somewhat fun and challenging. I always love the eyes and the nose. They give a lot of personality to the dog. And this is the way the actual picture of the dog looks. Sometimes people may see a painting and I do, and they think, well, maybe that's just her imagination. But no, this was actually the real dog. And as I finish up here, I just got in closer so you could see how I cut. And I don't always cover everything. I leave some of the lines showing, some of the underpainting showing. It helps to create a visual interest in the painting and helps bring it to life as it's being finished here. Just some different colors. You see the final piece. I want to invite you to the Dog Mom's Year of Art. You'll learn much more about this program in this video.